Good day to all. I myself S. Preeti, Assistant Professor in Computer Applications, Sri GVG Visalakshi College for Women, Udumalpe. The topic covered today is about conditional statements in Visual Basic 6.0. Visual Basic is the third generation event-driven programming language which is designed for the beginners. It enables us to develop GUI Windows application and non-GUI classes. This language is replaced with VB.NET nowadays. Moving to the topic. A branch statement or the conditional statement is the code that allows you to test whether the condition is true or false, and then execute some code based on these comparisons. In Visual Basic, there are two forms of conditional statements. One, if statement. Second is select case statements. These conditional statements are also called as decision-making statements. These statements can use various operators for evaluating the condition. The result of the expression are Boolean data types. Moving to the if statements. In if statements, it is useful to execute the block of code or statements conditionally based on the value of expression. There are three forms in if statements: simple if then statement, if then else statement, if then else if statement. These statements are used based on the complexity of the conditions. Here is a flow graph to represent the flow of the if statements. The condition here is checked whether it is true or false. If the condition is false, it ignores the statements and comes out of the if block. If the condition is true, it executes the statement below the if and comes out of the if statements. Moving to simple if then statement. Here is the structure of simple if then statement. If is followed with the Boolean expression. Here is specified the condition for checking, followed by then. If and then are the keywords in Visual Basic. The Boolean expression is the condition which will be evaluated. If the condition is true, the statements below the if will be executed. Otherwise, the statement will be ignored for execution. Here is the example to show the working of if statement. The condition A greater than B is checked in if statement. If A is greater, the text box control will be filled with the value A. Else, if A is less than B, the execution of this statement will be ignored. Moving to the second form, if then else statement. This statement or condition is having an optional else statement, and the else statement will be executed whenever the if condition fails to execute. Here is the structure of if then else statement. The condition is passed with the if block and moves for the execution. If the condition is true, it executes the statement below the if part, and if the condition is false, is defaultly moved with the else part of statement. The statement inside the if condition will be executed only when the Boolean expression returns true. Otherwise, the statement inside the else condition will be executed. Here is the example to show the working of if-then-else statement. A is the variable declared as the integer and initialized with the value 20. If we use the condition A greater than equal to 10. Here the value 20 is passed to the condition. So it checks whether 20 is greater than equal to 10. True. It returns the value true. So the statement below the if statements gets executed. It prints A is greater than 10. If the A value is 5, it checks for the condition 5 is greater than equal to 10. False. The condition returns the result false. The statement it defaultly moves to the else part statement and prints A is less than 10. Moving to the next form of conditional statement is if-then-else statement. If we have multiple conditions to validate and execute only one block of code, then if-then-else statement is useful in our application. Here is the structure. Here multiple conditions is being used with the default else statements. The execution of the if-else statement will start from the top to bottom, and as soon as the condition returns true, the code inside the if or else block will be executed and the control will come out of the loop. In case if none of the condition returns true, then the code inside the else block will be executed. Here is the example to show the working of if-then-else statement. Here we declare a variable x as integer and initialized with value 5. If x is equal to 10, here we have two different conditions checked. In if block, x is equal to 10 is the first condition. Here the value 5 is not equal to 10. It returns the value false. So it moves to the second condition where it checks whether the 5 is greater than 10. It returns the values false. So it defaultly moves to the else part to display the value is less than 10. Moving to the second form of conditional statement, it is select case statement. This select case structure is an alternative to if-then-else for selectively executing a single block of statements from among multiple blocks of statements. Here is a structure to have a flow of select case statement. Here the select case is used with an index value followed by various cases of conditions. The case is a keyword followed by the value as a condition. If a specific case is true, returns the value true, the statement below the particular case will be executed. If none of the case is true, it defaultly executes the case else statement. Here is the example to show the working of select case statement. The variable average is declared as integer and the average gets the value from the text box, and this average variable is used as the index in the select case. Here we have checked 5 different conditions. First condition is 100 to 75, 74 to 65, 64 to 55, 54 to 45 and 44 to 0. Here, based on the average, the condition or the statement inside the case will be executed. If my average value does not fall in any of these case values, the case else is executed, where the message box with invalid average marks will be displayed. I hope that all are clear about conditional statements in Visual Basic. Thank you.